Good morning, I hope that you're doing well. It feels like it's been a while since I've sat at the desk to give you like a proper journal update, but I've got everything set up this morning because for once I don't start lectures at 8:30, which is a small miracle considering the last month or so. But because I've got everything set up and I've been catching up on a couple of pages, I thought I would give you a bit of a flip through of the A5 so far. It's really nothing particularly different to what you've seen before. I'm still sort of journaling in the same way, but I've been using it for almost a month now. I started it on the 15th of October. It is now, I believe, the 10th. Yes, the 10th of November. So I've got a few pages to show you. I'm quite happy with how it's turning out, and I thought we might as well just chat about it. The book I'm using is a Good Impressions A5, 120 pages, Tama paper notebook. I did ask for the 3.7mm grid and the square corners. You can just leave a note when you place the order and they will do that for you, and it's the same that I usually get for my traveler's notebooks as well. Warning, they do take a while to arrive, at least to Italy. I believe they ship from Spain, but I might be wrong. They always take a while, they're made to order, but the shipping itself takes a while. But I think for me personally, the quality is absolutely worth it. The paper is lovely. It's a bit thicker as far as Tama paper goes compared to the Hobonichi one, and I really like it. It's really buttery smooth to write on. I like the colour of the paper, I like how light the grid is, and I love the quality of the cardstock cover as well. So nothing but positive things to say about them, really. I printed out a picture from Paris to have a sort of an intro cover sort of page, just to break things up a bit. It's always a bit, I don't know, it's always daunting to start on the first page, so I thought that would make it feel nice and comforting. And then I put down my colour dots index. I actually realised yesterday evening that I've not been tagging any of my entries, so I've got to go back and fix that. Was gonna have a starting page, but I had some pictures printed out and I figured I liked the double page layout better, and so I thought I would go back and fill this in at a later point, and I've not done that so far. In any case, it's really nothing particularly different. I've been drawing a line in pencil at the top just so I can section off 3 rows to stamp my date. I'm still using the same stamp that I got. I think I got it in a stationery pal order at some point. But if I've got a shorter entry for the first day and then I have a bit of space left over, I will just stamp it wherever. I still print pictures with just my regular printer, stickers on my own. I've got a tea bag, some more pictures from the weekend. My mum made a really nice pasta. These 2 stickers are from Nicole Josephine's shop. I've got a couple on the desk here as well, but I think these 2 ones were from this sheet in particular, but I don't know. They don't have names on them. The quality is really, really good though. I love the feeling of the sticker paper, but because they ship from overseas, it's chaos. So I ordered them once, but I don't know if I'll order them again. Not because I don't like them, just because the shipping is a faff. I took a really nice photo of some autumn leaves that I thought needed a full page, clearly. I baked some really, really good apple cinnamon muffins. I think I included it in a video at some point. These were so good. I have to make them again. I've been baking all of the cinnamon desserts over the past couple of months, and I'm having the best time. These 2 stickers are from my Paris sticker sheet, which I thought I had on hand, but I can't seem to find at the moment. But I had a couple of light sweets that I thought matched the page. We had a really nice weekend where we went on a Sunday with some friends. We went to visit an area about an hour away from us where it's all vineyards and it's beautiful this time of year. They're all all of the colors. It's very orange and yellow, and it's really pretty. And I printed out a few pictures from that. One of our friends made some like traditional desserts from where she is from, to have as a mid-morning snack, and we took some nice pictures. Again, some of my own stickers, and then I thought these ones were really cool and I printed them out a bit bigger. I've got the, what do you call it? I've got the business card from the restaurant we went to. Really enjoyed it. We had really nice lunch. And then this one I didn't tag with the day. I'm not sure. Oh no, I did tag it. It was this day. But I just had a bit of a rant about things not going to plan, and then I kind of picked myself back up and talked about some of my knitting. That's the one that I tagged yesterday evening when I realised that I hadn't been tagging all of the entries all of the way back, so I'll go back and probably fix that tonight. I've left a bit of a space accidentally because I then went to a concert and I had a bunch of larger pictures to print out, and I didn't want to break it up between the 2 pages. I think I will probably go back and fill the rest of the page. I do have some sock knitting to talk about like tonight, so I might do that. I'll just stamp my date over here, maybe draw a line, and that's okay. Finish a pair of socks, finish a vest, which I think is so cute. So there's a bit of documentation about those. Not too technical. I was keeping knitting notes for a while in my ring binder. I've not been doing that. I just keep all of my extra notes in like on my phone, on Ravelry, that sort of thing, or on the pattern itself. I write a lot on the patterns when I've got them open on my iPad and I'm going through them, but it's nice to have some documentation of the knitting that I'm doing within the context of everything else that's happening. Went to the Youngblood concert. There were 2 opening bands as well, Weathers and Palais Royale. I never know how to pronounce them, but I really like them. I didn't know Weathers, but great like straight stage presence, and the music was cool as well. The first 2 had some like sound issues. The sound wasn't great. It was a bit like the bass was so intense that my ears were ringing the entire time, but then it got fixed for the Youngblood section of the concert. Great night, really enjoyed it. I printed out some of the official pictures, and then because I went alone, but I met a few other girls on the way there that were also alone, and one of them was in the queue with me, and so she took a nice picture of me. But I've ended up printing mostly the official concert pics, just because I had really good seats, but I really did not take any photos. I have a couple of really short videos, but I was just enjoying myself and I didn't really get my phone out much. And then I wrote down the set list, just, you know, to keep track of that. It's something, I feel like it's nice to have that sort of record of a concert. I completely randomly, I started rewatching Supernatural. I have done a couple of Supernatural rewatches over the year. I was watching it when I was in high school, but I never really caught up with it. I watched like the first 5 or 6 seasons, and then stuff happened and I stopped watching it. I'm not even sure like what season they were on at that point, but I picked it back up my first year of uni, and my first year of uni is like very closely tied to memories of me watching Supernatural every moment I got. Like that entire year, it took me like 7 or 8 months to watch the whole thing, and I was watching it every moment I got. But I was feeling a bit stuck. I didn't really know what I wanted to watch, and I thought I would pick it back up. I've picked it back up from season 10. I will probably eventually do like a full rewatch, but I just felt like doing, you know, just rewatching the latter seasons. And so to talk about that, I've got a couple of other pictures printed out, but they're more related to the last couple of seasons, and so once I get to those I will stick them in. But in the meantime, I've printed out a picture of a drawing that I did of Jensen. Must have been like 2 or 3 years ago. It's not necessarily Dean, it's Jensen. They did a live concert from like with the band that he's got, and they obviously, I couldn't physically go to the concert because it was overseas, but they did a live like streaming version of it, and I woke up at 4 in the morning to watch it, and it was great. And I had a couple of screenshots from it that I drew some pictures from, and I still really like this drawing, so I thought it'd be nice to print it out. And that's sort of where we're at. I have got a couple of pictures from, so these are the supernatural ones that I need to add later on. I've got a couple of things from last weekend. There's one more that there it is. So these 3 are from last weekend, but I was away pretty much all of last week, and so I didn't really get time to do anything in my journals, but I think I might set up a spread from these tonight. And then this was an extra thing that I printed that I thought I might add to the pages from the concert, but I've not done that because it didn't really fit well with the layout. I'm also still debating. They kind of threw like confetti at one point. I picked 2 up because there were white ones and red ones, and I did have a white one as well. I don't know where it went, and I don't know if I like the red with the rest of the spread because it's so bright, and I think it will annoy me. So I might not. I've not stuck it in yet, and I might not do that. But yeah, I just need to sit down and finish up a couple of things. I think I have a couple of photos maybe from this weekend as well to print out. So maybe I will do that tomorrow as well. I don't know, we'll see when I get time to do all of it. This week is a little less intense compared to the last few ones that I've had. Last week we were away on a uni trip, so I do actually have a couple of photos from that. But before then it was just like lectures all day every day for the whole of October. It was a bit crazy. I think next week is a bit mad as well. So I am really hoping to be able to make the most of the slight quiet I have this week. I've only got lectures in the afternoons, and I've got the mornings free, but to be honest, I do have an exam to study for. That's going to be, I think, on the 1st of December. I've got a concert Friday night with my dad. I've got a concert next Friday as well, which, you know, is really nice, but it's always just a lot going on. So hopefully we can have a few slightly quieter days. I will give you a proper knitting update maybe tomorrow morning as well, because I've been working on so many cool things and I am so excited about it all. I've been working on a test knit over the weekend. It's going so well. I've got a gift knit jumper on the needles as well, and then some socks. I bought some sock yarn as well. I just want to cast on all of the things. So I'll give you a proper update later, but for now I've got to go and do the food shop. A bit of real life for you there. And then I've got lectures in the afternoon, so I will probably catch you back up later in the week. Apologies if my voice sounds a bit rough. I don't quite know what's going on, to be honest. I was also going to film this yesterday, and then I ended up meeting up with a friend before going to lectures. She was in town for an exam, and we thought we hadn't seen each other in a couple of weeks. It'd be nice to have a walk around town. All of the Christmas stuff is already out, and we had a walk around the shops. I did find some nice like wrapping paper and a couple of other bits that I might go back and pick up, but I didn't buy anything just yet. but I'm kind of keeping my eye out for things because I will be hosting a Christmas dinner party with some uni friends. We were trying to figure out where to do it, and we're organising it so everyone knows what to bring. Like, each person is doing a different part of the menu, but I've offered to host because we couldn't figure out where else to do it. So we're going to be a little crammed in my tiny kitchen, but I'm sure we'll make it work, and I want to make it feel really cozy and really festive. Anyways, that's not the point of this morning's segment. What I wanted to talk about today is knitting. So I think because I've not really filmed, I didn't film last week, I'm not really sure what I filmed the week before either. There's certainly some progress that you've not seen before. I've got 3 main projects going on at the moment. One is a test knit. This has been my main focus the past couple of days since the weekend. The test knit is for the Sandro V-neck by Knitting Phlegm or Flaminia, which I'm also co-hosting and knit along with at the moment. And I've been really like waiting for her to come out with this test knit, and I'm so happy that I get to test this pattern for her. It's a really beautiful like V-neck cabled, like really classic cabled jumper, and I don't have any V-neck jumpers. I also, weirdly enough, have very few black jumpers, and all I wear is black. So this felt like a good thing for me to work on. So I started working on it over the weekend, but the test knit really started a couple of weeks ago. My yarn just took a while to arrive, and so I really have just been focusing on this because I wanted to progress with it a bit. I don't feel particularly behind. The test knit is quite long. I think it goes until the beginning of January, and I'm quite far through with just a few days of work on it, but I didn't, you know, I don't like feeling behind with this sort of thing. So I did the back panel over the weekend, and then I did the left front, I think on Monday. I worked on it Monday morning, and now I am working on the right section of the front. Because it's black, I'm not quite sure like how well you're gonna be able to see the cables, but they look really good. And I'm really happy with my yarn choice. I'm using the Harbo Svensk Ull. I believe that's how you pronounce that. It's a 2-ply version. They also have a 3 and a 4-ply version. This one is 300 meters per 100 grams, and I think it's looking really good. I was so happy when I got it because I never like felt it in person before, and it looked like a really nice rustic wool. It's pure Swedish wool, and it's really, really nice and rustic. It's got the exact texture that I really love, but it's not itchy or scratchy at all. And so I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to like work more with this yarn. I know that a bunch of people have used the 3-ply version to knit the Dagmar series from Petit Knit, and I really want to make a Dagmar jacket, maybe for the spring. So I think I'll probably end up getting the 3-ply to use again for that. But for now, I'm really happy to work with this. It does take a while to wind up the skeins by hand because it's 300 meters per skein, but I'm gonna make it work. So probably my goal for today is to finish the right front. I've done like the first section. I need to get on with the increases for the neckline. And then I've got a sock project. I always have a sock project. No one is surprised at all. This one is a little bit special. I've done a couple of pairs of all over cable socks recently. The Udi socks by Sara Nordland and the Augustine's Cables number 2 by Augustine's DK. I love both of them. I loved working on them. I really like wearing them. I just love the way cable socks look. And I am really having a cable moment. And so when I finished those, I wanted to cast on a new one immediately. And I've been wanting to try to knit honeycomb cables for a while, but I didn't really want to commit to doing those for like a garment because I've never knit them before. I don't know if I really like them. And I thought a sock project would be a really good way to test them out. I couldn't really find a pattern for exactly what I wanted, so I've charted this up and I'm self-drafting it. So essentially, I've got a honeycomb cable panel and then a little faux, like 2-stitch faux cable. I've got a diamond cable running down the side and then another 2-stitch faux cable. It's a bit kind of twisted on the needles at the moment because I can't have the beginning of round in the middle of the diamond because I would have to cable across it and that just makes everything really complicated. But this is where the actual side of the sock will be, and so the diamond will essentially split when I go and do the heel flap and gusset, and so one part of the diamond will go with the gusset and the other part will go along the foot. And I think it would just look really cool. I did a folded cuff again. I did that for the Augustine Gables number 2. That was like part of the pattern. It was my first time doing it and I loved it. It feels so cozy and luxurious and I really liked it. And so I'm working on a really cool pair of socks. I am considering writing up a pattern for this if anyone is interested, just because I think with the way I've laid out the chart, it would be an easy enough thing for me to grade it into different sizes, and that's something I really appreciate with cabled socks. A lot of them are often just like one size, a lot of them are like 160 stitch size on 2.5mm needles, which is not my preferred way to knit socks, and so I think it would be nice to maybe work on that. We'll see. I don't know if people would actually be interested, and I don't know if I will actually have the time, but I can at least try. And I'm just using Drops Fable. This is my favorite Drops Fable color. It's 121 wheat in terms of colorway. And then I've made quite a lot of progress since you've last seen this, but I've also still been working on my Celeste Sweater Man gift knit that I'm doing for my best friend. I think last time you saw it, I'd probably just finished the yoke, and we have a considerable amount of body and also part of a sleeve. So I'm making good progress on this. I think I mentioned the other day I went away for a couple of days last week for a uni trip, and we had like a 5-hour bus drive on the way there and on the way back, and so I thought I'd bring some knitting for the journey, and I brought this one because it was just like a great big expanse of stockinette to work on, and I made quite a lot of progress. I'd basically just done like a little bit after the yoke, and I did all of that. So I'm quite happy with that. I have now put the body on hold because I needed my 4mm needles to work on the Sandro pullover, but I had my shorty 4mm needles free so I can use them to work on sleeves, and I'm slowly making progress on the sleeve. I can't work on this for too long at a time because the shorties make my hands hurt. Like, I tend to grip my needles quite tightly, so the short little ones make my hands cramp after a while, but I'm trying to do like a decrease a day, so at least it's like slow and steady progress, but still progress. I'm not feeling too rushed about this either. It's only the 12th of November. I've got over a month to get this finished. Practically I would like to get it done hopefully like by the first week of December at the latest, because I know this is going to take a while to dry, and I am not sure when I'm going to see my friend to give this to him, but I would like to give this to him beforehand so he can open it and wear it on Christmas Day. So ideally I'd like to have that ready at least a week or two before, just in case, but it's looking so good. I'm so happy with it. And the knitting for Olive, merino and heavy merino are always just a pleasure to work with, so the knitting experience has been really, really smooth with that too. I've also gotten some new yarn, together with the yarn that I ordered for the Sandro. I got some sock yarn. I've been wanting to try both of these for a while. I got some Opal Uni 4-ply. I got this in a really, really nice brown shade. And then I got some of the Lanagatto tweed sock yarn. It's like the loveliest cream with brown flecks in it, and I think these two will go so well together as well. So they're 100 grams each. I can get a pair of shorty socks out of 50 grams, so technically I could get 4 pairs of socks out of these. I won't. I'm gonna make tall socks with them, but I reckon with the two of them combined I can probably get 2 pairs of socks, 1 in each color, and then 1 with both of them together. Probably gonna do something like a striped sock, or maybe I could do a simple like colorwork cuff project. I've been wanting to make a second pair of the Quilty Cabin socks by Horse Feather Fibre Arts, I believe they're called. I know Stone Knits also has a similar version, but I think I knit the version by Horse Feather Fibre Arts last, and I made a pair of shorty socks with that pattern, but you can add repeats of the colorwork chart to the cuff to make them taller, and I think it will look really cute in this. But also just stripes. I've never made a pair of striped socks, so we'll see what inspires me when I go to cast that on. For now I better focus on the projects that I've already got, because some of them do actually have deadlines, and then we'll see what I end up casting on next. In the meantime, I am gonna go back to studying. I've never understood so little about a topic while studying it, so it's a bit of a nightmare. I was in the library yesterday afternoon with some friends studying, and I'm doing like a full immersion today. Just trying to memorize things. I better get on with it, and I will hopefully catch you back up before the end of the week. Bye.